Hello and welcome to the Daily Stoic Conversation. Welcome to the channel, that's what I should say. Welcome to the channel.
Hello.
Because I don't know what to call what we're doing right now.
It doesn't have a name.
There you
okay.
go. Okie dokie. Today we're going to discuss no shame in needing help. No shame in needing help.
Yeah. Wow, that's a big topic. It's so hard to ask for help.
It's so hard for me to even know when I need help.
Oh, that's another one, yeah. Like, when do I need it? And then do go ask for it. That's all of that is.
I feel like once I know that I need it, if I have not worked myself up into a frustration, which I will often do before I realize that I need help, it's easy to ask for help if I know, like, oh, I need help with this. Okay, let me go ask for help here. But if I don't know that I need it, then I kind of work myself up into like a more and more frustration. Then by the time I realize that I need it, now it's difficult to ask for help because I can't ask in a nice way.
Yeah, because you're like, you already are bent out of shape by the time you are realizing you need help, and it's just like all like a catch-22 type of a thing.
Yeah, you know? Like in my opinion, that's what happens sometimes, like with the dishes or something. I won't know that I need help, and then I won't be asking for help, and I'm just like not paying attention like deeply enough to notice that I need help. And now I'm like I'm like doing dishes and I'm frustrated at the same time, and I'm like, that's when I notice it. I'm like, why am I frustrated right now? And I'm like, because I'm doing all these freaking dishes. And then it's like by that point, I'm just like being passive aggressive towards you or something like that, you know? Right. But it's because I didn't notice it up until that point that I could use some help with this.
Yeah, and then there's this assumption also like, well, you should already know that I need help with these dishes or with these things. And I'm not saying that this is like you're just doing it. No, we're all doing it. Like I also do something, I go outside or do some work outside, and I might get frustrated because it's like, oh man, I need like a second pair of hands to like hold this or something, and I'm like, I can't do it. Like I don't have anybody here. What is going on, right? Like, but you're here, but it's like going to ask you now, maybe I'm inconveniencing you, maybe you're doing something else right now. I need this help now. So by the time I go, I need this help now, it's already too late, right? It might be before, like, hey, honey, I'm gonna be doing some work outside.
Are you available?
Are you not even available? But maybe I don't even know if I need help. But
right, exactly.
But like,
could you be on call?
Could you be on call or something in case I need help or something?
Yeah.
That might, but we never think like this. We're just like, okay, I'm gonna go into this thing, and then here it is. I'm doing it. Oh shoot, I need help. Hey, I need help really bad. Oh, I need help now. Everyone help me, and they're just like, dude, like, you know, it might not be the perfect time to ask for help. So there's also timing with help. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like there's the I don't want to do it. I'm uncomfortable asking. I'm thinking I'm inconveniencing them. Now they're gonna have to go do something for me to help me, right? So this have to. So yeah, just I have to kind of change my relationship with that for sure. Yeah. Or I mostly let it go too far as well. Yeah. Like by the time I need help, I'm already kind of like what you were saying, kind of frustrated or, you know, peeved, and now it's hard to talk about. Now it's hard to express calmly that you need help because you already.
Yeah, like, and then you're just freaking the other person out because the other person has no concept of any of this happening. They're just having a normal day, and now, but I've worked myself up into a place. So yeah, I think it is like a lot about the timing aspect of it. It's like, am I noticing it in a reactive way? Like, oh, I need help. I just found myself in a moment of needing help. Or is there a way for me to be more proactive about it to see, maybe I will need help in the future in this and this and this thing, and I should maybe start like pulling together some of those resources for myself now so that I don't find myself in that frustrated position of needing help right now, immediately, urgently, and like now freaking out about how do I ask for it because I'm just going to sound like an asshole to anyone I'm talking to. And I don't want to sound like an asshole, obviously.
Sweet. Okay. Let's see what they got for us.
Yeah. Okay. So today's entry starts with a quote by Marcus Aurelius. He says, "Don't be ashamed of needing help. You have a duty to fulfill just like a soldier on the wall of battle. So what if you are injured and can't climb up without another soldier's help?"
Yeah, it's that humbling. I think that we are raised in some way. Our system somehow makes us be like this achievement-oriented stuff, right? Like, oh, you need to achieve. You are special, and you need to achieve something, and you're gonna do it all by yourself. It's like this. It's this very I don't want to call it selfish, but it's just this very like I'm only focusing on myself. I have to, if I make mistakes, it's all my fault. If I succeed, it's all my success, or my fault, or my it's all mine type of a thing. And that's I think where it comes. That also then leads into when I'm in a tough situation, I don't want to ask for help because maybe they're gonna help me now with this little thing, and now they're gonna be taking credit for be part of this whole thing, right? Like there's this like I see how that's not the right way of thinking about it, right? Like it has to be this team contribution, interactions, all of that versus this like a siloed, I'll achieve it all, and if something goes wrong, it's all my fault type of a thing, maybe selfish, but like an underlined selfish or something that we don't even know that this selfishness is part of us and how we make decisions or something. Decisions of not asking for help.
Sure, there could be something about like being egotistical about not wanting to ask for help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really feel like my bigger problem is that I don't know when I need help sometimes.
Well, right. What I was talking about is I'm already in the place I need help.
And I don't want to ask for it.
And I don't want to ask for it. And to your point, that is too late. Therefore, a better question is, when do I need help, right? And now you're saying, well, I never know when do I need help, actually. Like it's... I mean, there must be some signs or indication that you will need help soon.
I mean, I just run into needing help in a reactive way, and then I can look at that and I can say, well, is this a pattern? Is this likely to repeat itself in the future? And now I can try something new next time, sort of like I would be training a muscle. I would just be training my skill in this particular situation, and I build it situation by situation, and then just like strengthening my bicep benefits my whole shoulder girdle. Like doing it for one situation then makes it doing for other situations easier. True. And
practicing to try to find that spot of when I need, before I actually need it, like recognizing. I was thinking about like maybe planning gets more into it, because the planning is like, hey, what do we need to do now for the next 2 weeks or something, right? And then you identify it, and now I go, oh, I see. So am I doing all this, right? And so that's where the question could arise. Before you actually start executing anything, it arises at the beginning and say, like, who is actually going to do it? If it's just me, can I do all this, right? Like, you now see it and like, oh no, I might need help. And so now you see that you will need help before you start executing, versus you finding it out during the execution.
Yeah. I mean, that's even like what you were saying with the example of yard work, is like, well, what if right before I went outside, I took a moment to say, what am I planning to do out there? What does that all entail? What do those jobs look like? Will I need any help with that? And it's just, because sometimes like planning, like the old school like project management way of like, you have to have the whole thing planned and then you can go execute it.
No, just for two. Like
just for it's like
short
incremental rolling planning of just like being able to see like this much futures in front of me that is visible and like not that hazy. Like I can make some clarity out of it. Okay, let me look at that future and really like look at what is going to be involved in it.
Yeah. Shorter iterations of planning more often for the
shorter
time periods and then the shorter time periods are the ones that are about to come up, right?
Yeah,
like what's next, right, type of a thing. Okay, cool.
Ryan?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna read Ryan. No one ever said you were born with all the tools you'd need to solve every problem you'd face in life. In fact, as a newborn, you were practically helpless. Someone helped you then, and you came to understand that you could ask for that help. It was how you knew you were loved. Well, you are still loved. You can ask anyone for help. You don't have to face everything on your own. If you need help, comrade, just ask.
Just ask. Yeah, sure. Just do it. Okay. That's good times. But that's so interesting, because like crying as a baby, that's the communication of I need something. I need help. I'm completely helpless, right? So I need the outside help. So I cry, right? And now they notice it. They come, and they try to match it to something. Oh, maybe he pooped himself. Maybe he's hungry. Da, da, da. You know, they try to go to the elimination, right? And then, but the thing is, it's like they want you to stop crying. Ultimately, you are crying. You're needing something, and they might be like, oh my God, he keeps crying and crying and crying. So like, what is going on? Like, he doesn't want food. You can't figure out what the kid needs. You might have him like this on your hands and all that stuff. He keeps crying, right? So it's like we're trying to stop the I need something.
I think we're trying to fulfill.
We're trying to fulfill it. We're trying to help them, right? But in some way, I feel like maybe that's where we learn to not to do it, right? Like I've heard. I just remembered like all these like don't cry, don't cry, like don't do
when
that.
You're a kid.
Yeah. Like don't, AKA don't. Yeah, no. When you're a kid, like. It works there, right? But then you're in that transition, and now you can speak, but maybe you don't know that you need to be asking for help. So it's something frustrating, so you start crying. And then that's when people go, no, stop crying. Like they wanna help you, but ultimately you're crying, you're asking for help is annoyance to them. And so they want to eliminate that in some fashion as quickly as possible.
Yeah, but I think like...
So they give you a sugar or some craziness, you know?
Sure. I mean, there's all kinds of strategies for that. But I think like fundamentally what is happening there is like a kid is crying because they don't know how to translate their needs into words. And so a skilled parent or a skilled adult around them would help them match the cry to the unmet need and then vocalize that out loud so that the child now has this emotional regulation skill at their disposal where they can say, oh, every time I feel this, I don't need to cry. I can just say, oh, I need this thing. This is going on for me. I'm overwhelmed. I'm, whatever the problem is, and they can say it out loud and vocalize it.
Right.
But if you don't have those skills as an adult to help the kid through that, then what you're doing is saying, don't cry, or here's a lollipop, or trying to mitigate it in some other way without giving them the tools to ask for help.
We are also uncomfortable when people do ask us for help. Because we might not know how to help them, and now it's on us, and that's uncomfortable, and we want that to go away. I just remember these, not necessarily like my grandma or somebody like that, but I remember seeing that in like people being uncomfortable when kids are crying. They're like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Because they don't know what it means.
Well, they don't know what that means.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do. They just need to,
The kid needs to learn how to translate their cry into language that is like,
so
hey, can I help here?
So that's my point is
the adults need to teach them.
Well, right, but that's my point is that's not as vastly available as.
Sure. So we're all growing up and now we have to learn it as adults. We have to learn that I'm still kind of throwing temper tantrums-ish as an adult where these emotions are coming out and I don't really know how to put words on it or language to it. Mm-hmm. Even me saying, oh, I don't know that I need help until afterwards is evidence of me growing up as a kid in a way where adults didn't teach me that.
Yeah. That's
I was
that's
punished.
What I'm trying to say.
I was punished for my feelings. If I got upset or something like this, there was even punishment for it. And so now I don't learn to translate that into something I can ask about. Yeah. What I learn is, oh, it's bad for me to feel like this. And so anytime I feel like this, I should hide. I should not share it with anyone. But at the same time, I'm not doing the other thing of translating it to ask and get my need met.
Right.
So I'm alienated I turn into an adult who's alienated from my needs. And this is far more common than the other way of an adult actually helping a child figure this out.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm saying. And then saying just ask for help is not very helpful because it's
I agree.
We have this going on.
Right. Almost everybody.
Almost everybody.
Right.
So then what are we saying? Oh, just do it? Put some freaking shoes on? Come on. But but do this thing, right?
Do this, learn how to ask, learn when you need help.
Yeah.
Learn when you need help because
we've all tested and keep testing it.
We've all grown up and it's not our parents' fault. It's not those adults' fault because it's this cascading thing. Yeah. So it's nobody's fault. Nobody's to blame. But recognize that I don't even know when I need help because my parents are really good with the baby because they accept that the baby can't communicate. Mm-hmm. But as soon as the child starts to communicate, now it's well, you should know better.
Yeah.
You should know how to do this.
Yeah. There's something missing, all right.
Cool. Okay, this was an interesting thing. Do you feel you have those emotional regulating skills that you know when you need help? Or are you like me and Oli where you're oh crap, sometimes I don't even know? See you tomorrow.